Have you ever felt trapped in a storm of uncontrollable emotions, anger, fear, or sorrow, that disrupted your peace of mind and clouded your decisions? These turbulent moments are something we all face. But what if I told you that emotions, when left unchecked, could be the biggest enemy to the calm and balance we seek in life? And more importantly, what if there was a way to transform them into allies? In this video, we delve into a powerful truth that Buddha shared with us: emotions, while natural and essential, must be understood and managed to prevent them from controlling our lives. According to Buddhist philosophy, emotions like anger, desire, and fear arise as reactions to the impermanent world around us. They are neither good nor bad, it is how we respond to them that shapes our inner state. Without mindfulness, these emotions can become overwhelming, leading to stress, broken relationships, and a deep sense of unrest. But here's the good news: Buddhism also provides us with tools to tame this emotional chaos and reclaim our peace of mind. Through practices like mindfulness, meditation, and intentional breathing, we can learn to observe our feelings without being consumed by them. It's not about suppressing emotions but understanding them, letting them pass like clouds, and finding the stillness beneath the storm. This journey is not without challenges. Recognizing the impact of uncontrolled emotions requires honesty and courage. Yet, when we begin to take small steps toward managing them, the benefits are profound. Imagine a life where moments of frustration don't spiral into anger, where fear doesn't paralyze you, and where joy feels fuller and more lasting. By mastering our emotions, we open the door to mental clarity, improved relationships, and a deeper connection to ourselves and others. In this video, we'll explore 6 essential aspects: understanding uncontrolled emotions in the context of Buddhist teachings, recognizing their impact on our lives, leveraging mindfulness to control them, uncovering valuable lessons from Buddha's wisdom, embracing the many benefits of emotional regulation, and learning practical ways to incorporate these techniques into your daily routine. Whether you're seeking inner peace, healthier interactions with loved ones, or simply a deeper understanding of how to navigate life's emotional storms, this video offers insights that are both accessible and transformative. Together, let's uncover why emotions left unchecked truly are the enemies of peace, and learn how to turn them into powerful tools for growth. Are you ready to take the first step toward lasting calm and balance? Let's begin. Part 1: Understanding Uncontrolled Emotions in Buddhist Teachings. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by emotions like anger, fear, jealousy, or greed, and wondered why they seem to take control of your thoughts and actions? In Buddhist teachings, these uncontrolled emotions are seen as mental afflictions, or kleshas, that disrupt our inner peace of mind and lead to suffering. Buddha's wisdom provides us with valuable insights into the nature of these emotions and offers practical ways to understand and manage them. Uncontrolled emotions stem from ignorance, one of the central concepts in Buddhist philosophy. Ignorance refers to the misunderstanding of reality, clinging to the belief that the world is permanent, unchanging, and fully controllable. In truth, life is impermanent and interconnected, constantly shifting beyond our control. When we fail to recognize this truth, we respond to life's unpredictability with emotions that cloud our judgment and perpetuate suffering. For instance, anger often arises when our expectations are unmet or when we feel wronged. Buddhism likens anger to fire, a blazing force that destroys not only others but also ourselves. It clouds our ability to think clearly, leading to impulsive actions we may later regret. Similarly, greed emerges from a desire to possess or control, driven by the false belief that external things, wealth, success, or relationships, can bring lasting happiness. Instead of satisfying us, greed creates a cycle of craving and dissatisfaction, leaving us feeling empty. Fear, another common emotion, stems from attachment and the fear of losing what we value most, often preventing us from taking courageous steps forward. These emotions, while natural, become problematic when left unchecked. They create a cycle of craving and aversion, chasing after what we desire and rejecting what we dislike, which Buddhist teachings refer to as dukkha, or suffering. This cycle traps us in a state of mental turmoil and prevents us from experiencing the peace that lies beyond emotional reactivity. The key to breaking free from the grip of uncontrolled emotions lies in mindfulness, a practice central to Buddhism. Mindfulness encourages us to observe our emotions as they arise, without judgment or resistance. Instead of suppressing anger or acting on it impulsively, for example, mindfulness teaches us to pause and examine the emotion. Where does it come from? What triggered it? By observing our emotions with curiosity, we begin to see their impermanent nature. They arise, stay for a while, and eventually fade away. Buddhist teachings emphasize that managing emotions is not about achieving perfection or eliminating negative feelings altogether. Instead, it is about cultivating awareness and equanimity. Recognizing that emotions are fleeting, they come and go like waves, allows us to respond rather than react. By practicing mindfulness, we create a space between stimulus and response, enabling us to act with wisdom and clarity. Meditation is another powerful tool for understanding and managing emotions. By focusing on the breath or a calming mantra during meditation, we can quiet the mental noise caused by uncontrolled emotions. This practice helps us reconnect with our inner stillness, reducing the intensity of anger, fear, or greed and allowing us to approach life with a balanced perspective. In summary, Buddhist teachings shed light on the nature of uncontrolled emotions and offer practical methods to manage them. By understanding their origins, observing them with mindfulness, and cultivating practices like meditation and mudita, we can break free from the cycle of emotional reactivity. This journey requires patience and self-compassion, but it leads to a life filled with greater peace of mind, balance, and clarity. Through the wisdom of Buddha, we learn that emotions, while powerful, need not control us. Instead, they can serve as teachers, guiding us toward deeper self-awareness and spiritual growth. What may initially seem like obstacles, anger, greed, fear, can ultimately become opportunities to cultivate wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. By embracing this perspective, we can transform the way we experience and navigate the complexities of life. Part 2: Why uncontrolled emotions cause loss of peace. Emotions are an essential part of human life, guiding how we respond to situations and interact with others. However, when left unchecked, they often become destructive, disrupting our peace of mind and creating chaos in our personal and professional lives. According to Buddhist teachings, uncontrolled emotions like anger, fear, and greed are major obstacles to achieving a state of inner peace and clarity. In this section, we'll explore why these emotions disrupt balance and how understanding them can help us reclaim tranquility. One of the most significant ways uncontrolled emotions cause loss of peace is through their impact on mental health. Take anger, for example. In a stressful situation, anger can escalate quickly, taking control of our thoughts and actions. It blinds us to reason, leading us to say or do things that not only harm others but also hurt ourselves. Buddhist teachings describe anger as a fire that burns both the person experiencing it and those around them. This loss of control doesn't just create conflict, it fosters feelings of guilt and regret that further disturb the mind. Similarly, fear works silently but powerfully to rob us of peace. Fear is often rooted in attachment, the desire to hold on to things, people, or situations we value. Whether it's fear of failure, rejection, or loss, this emotion locks us in a cycle of worry and hesitation, preventing us from embracing opportunities and living fully. In Buddhist philosophy, fear arises from ignorance about the impermanence of life. By clinging to the belief that we can avoid change or loss, fear consumes our energy, making it impossible to find calm. Another disruptive emotion is greed, which stems from the craving for more possessions, achievements, or recognition. Greed creates an endless pursuit of external rewards, often at the cost of personal relationships and inner happiness. When driven by greed, we equate success and contentment with material gain, ignoring the truth that lasting peace comes from within. This relentless chase only deepens dissatisfaction, trapping us in a cycle of craving and disappointment. Beyond their effects on individual mental health, uncontrolled emotions also impact relationships. Anger can break trust, fear can create distance, and greed can lead to selfishness, all of which strain our connections with others. For example, a person driven by anger might lash out at loved ones, leaving behind a trail of hurt and misunderstanding. Fear, on the other hand, may cause someone to avoid vulnerability, leading to shallow interactions instead of meaningful relationships. In Buddhist teachings, emotions are not inherently bad, rather, it is our lack of awareness and control over them that leads to harm. Uncontrolled emotions also impair our decision-making ability. When emotions dominate, rational thought takes a back seat, and we act impulsively. For instance, someone consumed by greed might prioritize short-term gains over long-term well-being. Similarly, someone driven by fear may pass up life-changing opportunities due to hesitation. Buddha often emphasized the importance of mental clarity in making wise choices, highlighting that decisions made under emotional duress rarely lead to positive outcomes. So why do uncontrolled emotions have such a powerful hold over us? Buddhist philosophy explains that emotions are a natural reaction to life's impermanence and uncertainties. Our desire to control or resist change intensifies these feelings, turning them into sources of suffering. Buddha taught that understanding the nature of emotions is key to managing them. For example, recognizing that anger is temporary and arises from unmet expectations can help us step back and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. The teachings of Buddha also offer practical solutions to counteract the loss of peace caused by uncontrolled emotions. Mindfulness is one such practice that helps us observe emotions without judgment. Through mindfulness, we learn to acknowledge feelings as they arise, creating space between the stimulus and our response. For instance, when faced with fear, mindfulness allows us to pause, reflect, and choose courage over avoidance. Similarly, meditation provides a safe and calming space to process emotions and return to a state of inner balance. In conclusion, uncontrolled emotions like anger, fear, and greed disrupt inner peace and affect every aspect of our lives, from mental health to relationships and decision-making. However, by understanding their origins and practicing mindfulness, we can begin to tame these emotional storms. Buddhist teachings remind us that peace is not the absence of emotions but the ability to navigate them with clarity and wisdom. With consistent effort and reflection, we can reclaim our tranquility and build a life grounded in mental clarity, compassion, and lasting happiness. Part 3: The Role of Mindfulness in Managing Emotions. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the cornerstone of practices aimed at understanding and mastering uncontrolled emotions. While emotions like anger, fear, and greed can feel overwhelming and unmanageable, mindfulness offers a way to confront them with clarity, balance, and compassion. Instead of being reactive or allowing these emotions to dominate our lives, mindfulness allows us to observe and respond to them thoughtfully. This practice is essential for reclaiming inner peace and living in harmony with ourselves and others. So, what exactly is mindfulness? In Buddhist teachings, mindfulness refers to the state of being fully aware of the present moment without judgment or attachment. It is a practice of observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they arise, accepting them for what they are, and letting them pass. Unlike suppression or avoidance, mindfulness embraces emotions, giving them space while preventing them from controlling our thoughts or actions. This philosophy can be particularly transformative when dealing with uncontrolled emotions. Take anger, for instance. When anger arises, it often feels all-consuming, causing impulsive reactions and harmful behaviors. Mindfulness teaches us to pause and acknowledge the anger as it manifests. Through practices like mindful breathing or meditation, we can shift focus from the intensity of the emotion to the present moment. By observing the anger without judgment, we begin to understand its roots, perhaps unmet expectations or feelings of frustration. This awareness creates a space between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to act with calmness and wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. Similarly, fear can paralyze us, keeping us trapped in cycles of worry and hesitation. Mindfulness helps us confront fear by focusing on the impermanence of emotions. When we recognize that fear is not permanent and arises from attachment or resistance to change, we can begin to detach from it. By grounding ourselves in the present, Whether through mindful observation or meditation, we learn to face fear with courage, letting it pass like a wave rather than holding on to it. The Buddhist practice of mindfulness is not limited to addressing negative emotions, it also enhances our ability to manage positive emotions like joy and excitement. While these emotions are uplifting, mindfulness ensures that we don't cling to them or rely on them for lasting happiness. Instead, mindfulness teaches us to experience joy fully in the moment while accepting its transient nature. This balanced approach prevents us from falling into cycles of craving or dependency, which ultimately lead to dissatisfaction. One powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness is meditation, a practice widely recommended in Buddhist teachings. Meditation encourages us to sit in stillness, focus on our breath, and observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment. For example, during a session of mindful meditation, we might notice feelings of jealousy arising. Instead of suppressing the jealousy or acting on it, meditation allows us to observe it neutrally, exploring its origins and understanding its impermanence. Through regular practice, meditation builds emotional resilience, helping us manage both positive and negative experiences with equanimity. Another practical method for integrating mindfulness into daily life is mindful breathing. This simple yet profound technique involves focusing on the rhythm of your breath, bringing attention to the sensations of inhaling and exhaling. In moments of emotional distress, mindful breathing acts as an anchor, grounding us in the present and calming the mind. For example, during a heated argument, taking a few mindful breaths can prevent escalation, allowing us to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role in strengthening relationships. When we practice mindful listening, we give our full attention to the person we're interacting with, free from distractions or preconceived judgments. By being present, we create space for genuine understanding and empathy, fostering deeper connections. This mindful approach can transform conversations and conflicts, as it encourages us to respond with kindness and thoughtfulness rather than being driven by uncontrolled emotions like anger or fear. In summary, mindfulness is a powerful practice for managing emotions, offering clarity, balance, and compassion. By observing our feelings without judgment, we learn to recognize their origins, accept their impermanence, and respond wisely. Through tools like meditation, mindful breathing, and mindful listening, we can cultivate a state of inner peace that remains unshaken by emotional turbulence. As Buddhist teachings remind us, peace is not the absence of emotions but the ability to navigate them with awareness and equanimity. With mindfulness as our guide, we can transform the way we experience and respond to life's emotional challenges. Part 4: Lessons from Buddha on Managing Emotions. The life of Buddha is filled with timeless wisdom, offering profound insights into the human condition and our struggles with emotions. In Buddhist teachings, emotions like anger, jealousy, and fear are not viewed as inherently bad, but as natural responses arising from the mind's attachments and aversions. The challenge lies in how we manage these uncontrolled emotions. Through his example and teachings, Buddha provides valuable lessons on how to face these emotions and cultivate inner peace. One of the most illustrative stories about anger in Buddha's life is the encounter with an angry man. As the story goes, Buddha was calmly teaching when a man began shouting and insulting him. Instead of responding with hostility or defending himself, Buddha asked the man a simple question: if someone offers you a gift and you decline to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The man replied, to the person who offered it. Buddha smiled and said, so too, I do not accept your anger, and it remains with you. This story conveys a powerful lesson about emotional self-control. By refusing to react to anger, Buddha demonstrated how mindfulness can neutralize the harm caused by uncontrolled emotions. This principle of non-reactivity is central to Buddhist teachings. Buddha understood that emotions are transient, they arise, peak, and eventually fade away. Acting on them impulsively only strengthens their grip over us. For instance, when jealousy arises, it is tempting to act out of insecurity or resentment. However, Buddha advised that we use these moments as opportunities for self-awareness. Instead of envying others, he encouraged the practice of mudita, or sympathetic joy, the ability to celebrate the success and happiness of others. This shift in perspective not only diffuses jealousy but also fosters compassion and connection. Another significant lesson comes from Buddha's teachings on fear. Buddha taught that fear often stems from attachment and a misunderstanding of impermanence. We fear losing loved ones, possessions, or status because we believe they define our identity or provide lasting happiness. In one of his teachings, Buddha compared our attachment to a raft we use to cross a river. Once we reach the other side, carrying the raft becomes a burden rather than a benefit. Similarly, clinging to things out of fear weighs us down. By accepting the impermanent nature of life, we can let go of unnecessary fear and embrace the present moment with courage. The Buddhist practice of metta, or loving kindness, is another profound tool for managing uncontrolled emotions. Buddha emphasized the importance of cultivating loving kindness not only toward others but also toward oneself. This practice is particularly effective in addressing anger and resentment. By silently repeating phrases such as, "May I be happy," "May I be free from suffering," and extending the same wishes to others, we replace hostility with compassion. Over time, this practice transforms how we perceive and respond to conflict. Buddha also taught the importance of observing the root causes of emotions. He often used the analogy of a tree. Just as we cannot remove a tree without addressing its roots, we cannot overcome emotions without understanding their origins. For example, anger might arise from unmet expectations, while fear could stem from childhood experiences. By examining these roots, we gain insight into why we feel the way we do and how to address these feelings with wisdom rather than impulsivity. Meditation, a core practice in Buddhism, plays a vital role in managing emotions. Buddha frequently taught his disciples to focus on their breath as a way to calm the mind and observe emotions without becoming entangled in them. Through meditation, one can create a mental pause, a gap between the stimulus and the response. This gap allows us to choose our actions thoughtfully rather than reacting emotionally. In one scripture, Buddha described meditation as a way to train the mind to be like a still pond, reflecting the world without being disturbed by ripples. One of Buddha's most profound lessons on emotions is that suffering is not caused by the emotions themselves, but by our attachment to them. Emotions are like visitors, they come and go. The problem arises when we cling to these visitors, either trying to hold on to pleasant feelings or resist unpleasant ones. Buddha taught that by practicing equanimity, a balanced state of mind, we can navigate life's highs and lows with grace. Equanimity doesn't mean indifference. Rather, it means maintaining mental clarity and calm regardless of the circumstances. In conclusion, Buddha's teachings offer timeless strategies for managing uncontrolled emotions. Through practices like mindfulness, loving kindness, and meditation, we can learn to understand and transform emotions, allowing us to live with greater balance and peace of mind. His life serves as a reminder that emotions are not our enemies, but opportunities for growth. When managed wisely, they become stepping stones toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Through these lessons, we are empowered to cultivate a life of compassion, awareness, and resilience. Part 5: The Benefits of Managing Emotions. In the journey to achieving inner peace and a balanced life, the ability to manage uncontrolled emotions plays a vital role. Emotions, when understood and regulated, are not only transformative for our mental well-being but also enhance our relationships, decision-making skills, and overall happiness. Buddhist teachings emphasize that by mastering emotions such as anger, fear, and greed, we open the door to a life of clarity, resilience, and joy. One of the most significant benefits of managing emotions is the improvement of mental health. When emotions go unchecked, they lead to stress, anxiety, and inner turmoil. Anger, for example, can feel like a storm that disrupts both our minds and our bodies. It increases cortisol levels, raises blood pressure, and leaves us feeling drained. By learning to manage anger through mindfulness and meditation, we can calm the mind and reduce these harmful physical effects. Fear, On the other hand, creates a constant state of worry and hesitation, making it difficult to experience the present fully. Managing fear allows us to build mental clarity, embrace life's uncertainties, and approach challenges with courage. Managing emotions also fosters self-awareness, which is a cornerstone of personal growth. As we practice observing our feelings without judgment, we develop a deeper understanding of our triggers and patterns. For instance, by recognizing how jealousy arises, perhaps through comparison or insecurity, we can start to shift our focus away from external validation and toward self-compassion. This awareness is key to breaking free from destructive cycles and cultivating lasting happiness. Another profound benefit of emotional regulation lies in its impact on relationships. Emotions like anger or fear often cause misunderstandings and conflicts in personal and professional interactions. For instance, when anger drives a conversation, it can escalate small disagreements into significant arguments, damaging trust and connection. By managing these emotions with mindfulness, we create space for patience and empathy, enabling more thoughtful responses. In Buddhist teachings, the practice of metta, loving kindness, offers a way to soften the edges of negative emotions and replace them with compassion. When we approach relationships with kindness and understanding, we not only resolve conflicts but also strengthen bonds and build meaningful connections. Emotional management also enhances our ability to make wise decisions. When we act under the influence of uncontrolled emotions, our judgment is clouded, often leading to choices we later regret. Greed, for example, can push us toward impulsive decisions that prioritize short-term gain over long-term stability. Similarly, fear may paralyze us, causing missed opportunities. Buddha taught the importance of mental clarity in decision-making, emphasizing that calmness leads to better outcomes. By practicing mindfulness, we create a gap between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to think rationally and make choices that align with our values and goals. Beyond individual benefits, managing emotions positively influences our external environment. Emotional stability radiates outward, impacting how others perceive and interact with us. For instance, when we maintain calmness during stressful situations, we inspire confidence and trust in those around us. This ripple effect extends to families, workplaces, and communities, fostering environments of cooperation and mutual respect. On a spiritual level, managing emotions helps us align with the deeper truths of life as taught in Buddhism. Buddha emphasized that happiness and contentment come not from external circumstances but from within. When we let go of attachment to fleeting emotions, we uncover a reservoir of peace that is unshaken by the ups and downs of daily life. This state of equanimity allows us to navigate challenges with grace, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Scientific research also supports the benefits of emotional regulation. Studies show that mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing, improve emotional intelligence, increase focus, and reduce stress. These findings align with Buddhist teachings, which have long advocated for these techniques as tools for achieving inner peace. By training the mind to observe emotions without being consumed by them, we develop resilience and adaptability, qualities essential for thriving in an ever-changing world. In conclusion, managing emotions offers countless benefits, from enhancing mental health and relationships to improving decision-making and fostering personal growth. Buddhist teachings remind us that emotions are not to be feared or suppressed, but understood and embraced with mindfulness. By practicing emotional regulation through tools like meditation, self-awareness, and loving kindness, we unlock our potential to lead a life of clarity, happiness, and balance. The journey to mastering emotions is not easy, but the rewards, a heart at peace and a mind at ease, are well worth the effort. Through consistent practice and reflection, we can transform our emotional struggles into stepping stones toward greater resilience, harmony, and fulfillment. Part 6: Practical Ways to Manage Emotions in Daily Life. Managing uncontrolled emotions might sound like a daunting task, but it's achievable with the help of consistent and mindful practices. Buddha's teachings offer valuable tools that can be integrated into our daily lives to help us respond to emotions like anger, fear, and greed with balance and wisdom. Rather than being overwhelmed by emotions, we can learn to observe and manage them, opening the door to inner peace and fulfillment. Let's explore practical steps inspired by Buddhist wisdom that can guide us in regulating emotions effectively. 1. Begin with mindfulness in your daily routine. One of the most accessible ways to manage emotions is through the practice of mindfulness. This involves being fully present and aware of our thoughts and feelings as they arise, without judgment. For instance, if anger begins to surface during a disagreement, pause for a moment and take a few deep breaths. Acknowledge the anger without reacting immediately. Ask yourself, what triggered this anger? Is my reaction going to improve the situation or escalate it? By becoming aware of the emotion, you create space to choose a more measured response. Start small by setting aside 5 to 10 minutes each day to focus on your breath or observe your thoughts. Over time, this daily mindfulness practice will enhance your ability to identify and manage uncontrolled emotions in more complex situations. 2. Meditate to build emotional resilience. Meditation, a core practice in Buddhism, is one of the most effective ways to regulate emotions and maintain mental clarity. Through meditation, you can train your mind to observe emotions as temporary phenomena, like waves that rise and fall. For example, when you sit in silence and focus on your breath, you may notice feelings of fear or jealousy creeping in. Rather than suppressing these emotions, meditation allows you to acknowledge them and watch as they fade away. A specific form of meditation called loving-kindness meditation, metta, is particularly effective for transforming emotions like anger or resentment. By silently repeating phrases such as, "May I be happy," "May others be free from suffering," you can cultivate compassion toward yourself and others. This practice not only diffuses negative emotions but also strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of connectedness. 3. Embrace mindful breathing during emotional distress. When emotions feel overwhelming, mindful breathing can serve as a powerful anchor. In moments of stress or conflict, take 3 slow, deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. This simple act calms the nervous system, helps you ground yourself in the present, and creates space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Mindful breathing is particularly helpful for managing sudden bursts of anger or anxiety, preventing them from spiraling out of control. 4. Practice gratitude to shift perspective. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negative emotions like envy and dissatisfaction. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life, you can cultivate contentment and reduce the intensity of uncontrolled emotions. Start a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. These can be simple things, such as a kind word from a colleague or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice helps shift your focus away from what you lack to the abundance already present in your life. In Buddhism, gratitude is deeply tied to the concept of impermanence. Recognizing that everything in life is temporary encourages us to appreciate what we have in the present moment, reducing feelings of greed or frustration. 5. Incorporate mindful movement into your routine. Managing emotions doesn't always have to involve sitting still. Activities like walking meditation or yoga can help you process feelings through mindful movement. During a walking meditation, for example, focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the sounds around you. This practice not only calms the mind but also helps release pent-up emotions in a gentle, non-verbal way. 6. Set healthy boundaries to protect your peace. Uncontrolled emotions often arise from overcommitment or exposure to stressful environments. Setting boundaries, such as limiting screen time, saying no to unnecessary obligations, or creating moments of solitude, is crucial for maintaining inner peace. Protecting your emotional energy allows you to navigate challenges with greater resilience. 7. Reflect on emotional triggers through journaling. Self-reflection is an essential part of managing emotions. Keeping a journal where you write about moments of emotional distress can help you identify patterns and triggers. For example, if you notice that you often feel anger in response to criticism, journaling can help you explore why this reaction occurs and how you might respond differently in the future. Over time, this practice deepens your self-awareness and empowers you to approach similar situations with more balance. 8. Seek support from a trusted community. Lastly, surrounding yourself with supportive people who share your values and encourage emotional growth can make a big difference. Whether it's joining a meditation group, discussing challenges with friends, or seeking guidance from a mentor, community connections provide perspective and encouragement as you work to manage your emotions. In conclusion, managing uncontrolled emotions requires intentional practices that build self-awareness, resilience, and balance. Through mindfulness, meditation, gratitude, and supportive relationships, you can learn to navigate emotional challenges with greater ease. These steps, rooted in Buddhist teachings, not only help you overcome emotional turmoil but also lead to a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Conclusion: managing emotions for a peaceful life. In this video, we've explored why uncontrolled emotions can disrupt our lives, damage our peace of mind, and affect our relationships. Drawing from Buddhist teachings, we've delved into the nature of emotions like anger, fear, and greed, understanding how they arise and why they lead to suffering. More importantly, we've uncovered practical ways to recognize, regulate, and transform these emotions into sources of growth. Through practices like mindfulness, meditation, and gratitude, we gain tools to reclaim our inner peace. These methods teach us to observe emotions without judgment, allowing us to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. By integrating these principles into everyday life, whether through mindful breathing, loving-kindness meditation, or setting healthy boundaries, we can foster resilience, clarity, and deeper connections with ourselves and others. The benefits extend to our mental health, decision-making, and relationships, enabling us to live with greater balance and harmony. From Buddha's teachings, we've learned that emotions are not our enemies but opportunities for self-awareness and spiritual growth. By understanding their impermanence, we can approach life's challenges with equanimity and cultivate a sense of calmness that remains unshaken by external circumstances. If this journey toward emotional mastery resonates with you, we encourage you to take the first steps today. Practice mindfulness in your daily life, reflect on your emotional triggers, and embrace the transformative power of managing emotions. The path may require patience and effort, but the rewards, lasting inner peace and fulfillment, are truly worth it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Life Lessons channel. By supporting this journey, you can help spread these valuable lessons to others seeking balance and happiness. Thank you for being a part of this community, and let's continue to grow together toward a more peaceful, mindful existence.